even the chance of a strong to severe storm or two. Then we clear out Sunday, and next week, there were some indications we could have a real front. Right now that's looking unlikely. Still, sorry.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks for watching the news at 6. We'll see you back here for the Night Beat.
The focus is on Friday night on into early Saturday for widespread showers and thunderstorms and even some heavy rain. Notice the chances peak Friday night at 70%. And I do think locally, most of it, if not all of it, should hold off until after Friday night football games. It's going to be a close call. 1 to 3 inches possible in several areas, but not everybody's going to get that. As usual, the accumulations will be highly variable across our area. Street flooding and some strong storms are possible. Heavy rain, frequent lightning and thunder, of course, anticipated. Here's a look at our future cast. Friday, throughout the day, mainly dry, just 1 or 2 little stray showers or pop-up downpours. It's really Friday evening after sunset, starting in the hill country, line of showers and storms barreling eastward, and anywhere from 10 p.m. to midnight, making it to San Antonio. Embedded heavy rainfall, frequent lightning and thunder, could be a few high gusts localized within those showers.
Over 60 rounds. They came through my front door, my garage, came all the way to the back door.
Tonight on the Night Beat, a San Antonio mother says her family survived a shooting and one of the suspects is her own son, which she says led up to that horrific and terrifying night.
And a man is in handcuffs 6 years after allegedly shooting and killing a local boxer. How police say they caught him.
And a Southside staple, also the site of a fire that investigators say someone started on purpose. We will hear from the manager at Pica Plaza.
Live from KSAT 12, the Night Beat starts right now.
And we thank you for joining us. I am Ernie Zuniga.
And I'm Stefania Jimenez. Fear and heartbreak for local parents. Not only were shots fired at their home, their son is actually one of the suspects.
Yeah, so tonight the night team's Avery Everett takes us to South Bexar County, where that couple is calling for accountability.
They didn't come over here to send no message. They came over here to kill my husband.
A threat gone too far. That's how Erica and Jesus Negrete described the shooting their family survived.
It started with my son. We ended up getting his report card. He was missing 4 credits. We asked him, to do the dishes, and he started slamming stuff. And from there, that was the first time he had made a threat towards my husband, saying that he was going to put a bullet in his forehead.
That was the first threat Erica says her 16-year-old son made to his stepfather Jesus back in June. The second came on August 24th. She says her son posted a photo of a loaded magazine on social media.
On the top of the bullet was my husband's name.
Hours later, in the early morning of August 25th, Jesus reached out to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office to file a report about the threats. A deputy visited his home around 1 a.m. and left about 40 minutes later. It was at 3 a.m. the gunfire began.
Once my wife started screaming, I told her, get down, and all I could remember is just the kids. So I was laying over there and I ran this way and I just completely fall right here.
Erica and Jesus were home with 3 of their children. No one was injured.
It needs to stop. The gun violence needs to stop.
An affidavit alleges their son and 3 others were involved in the planning of the shooting. In this video from the doorbell camera, we can only see 3 people firing weapons. But of the 4, only one of them is over the age of 18. Now we've learned his name is Benny Garcia, and he's facing a 3rd-degree felony charge of deadly conduct, discharging of a firearm. BCSO says it cannot release information to us for people under the age of 18. That's part of the reason why this family is coming forward.
They had no remorse that the whole family was inside.
The shooting happened almost 2 months ago, but the scars are still here. Bullet holes have been patched, but the family says they're still uneasy sleeping at night.
I'm very, very hurt, very, very shocked. We're still shooken up.
Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office referred us to juvenile detention after we asked for specifics about the charges for those under the age of 18 in this case. Now, that mother told us that Benny Garcia, the man arrested, is related to one of the underage suspects in this case. She says the other underage suspect, who is not her son, is still on the run.
Now we want you to look at this video. We have fire there, smoke coming out of a Southside staple. That's Pica Plaza, a popular shopping center near Southeast Military Drive. And when San Antonio firefighters got there early yesterday morning, they saw palm trees on fire just outside of that business. The manager told KSAT that he didn't find out what had happened until people told him about it.
Never in the 9 years that I've been here, never has this happened or gone to this extent. And it's very sad that we know now that it was deliberately. I mean, obviously we saw the gentleman come, turn it on, and walk away as if it was nothing.
That's Rudy Lopez. He is asking anyone who has information about what happened to tell investigators, because right now, no one's been arrested so far. The San Antonio Fire Department, though, is investigating this as arson. San Antonio police arresting a man for a murder that happened 6 years ago.
So this is 25-year-old Jeremiah Williams. He is facing murder charges in the death of a former San Antonio boxer, George Ramos. The night team Zaria Oates was there as police walked Williams right in front of our cameras and spoke with the victim's mother.
This man was arrested and taken to jail Wednesday afternoon. At the same time, this mother is trying to balance her happiness in his arrest and her grief for the loss of her son.
If you were his friend, you would have enjoyed my son. You would have had it, like, it would have been good if you would have just gotten to know him. But instead, you killed him.
Jessica Ramos' son, George, was murdered back in 2019. George was most known for his boxing skills that leave positive memories of him everywhere Jessica looks, like this trailer from a 2018 boxing match, or the Christmas stocking that still gets hung up. George was known as a boxer, but he was also a son, a brother, and a friend.
Georgie was a great, loyal friend.
Then, at just 18 years old, on June 20th, 2019, George was murdered on the far west side of San Antonio. Now, more than 6 years later, San Antonio police arrested 25-year-old Jeremiah Williams for Ramos's murder.
What happened in 2019?
Williams had nothing to say as police walked him in front of our cameras, so I asked George's mom how she feels.
How do you feel knowing that someone was actually arrested and charged?
I'm so glad that he won't be able to be doing this to anybody else. He won't be hurting anyone else in the streets.
And while she's relieved that Williams was arrested, she's still searching for justice in his sentencing.
The only thing that would be justice for me is a life for a life, and have them take his life so his parents can hurt the way I hurt.
Williams is now at the Bexar County Adult Detention Center just behind me. We are still waiting for additional information from that affidavit that we have already requested. Once we get those details through the affidavit as to exactly what led to his arrest, we'll bring you those details on air and online. Live at the Bexar County Jail, I'm Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Zaria, thank you. In court today, an autopsy was the focus of testimony in the trial of 3 former SAPD officers who shot and killed Melissa Perez back in 2023. Dr. David Lynch testified that Perez was hit twice by the officers' bullets. Earlier testimony from a crime scene investigator revealed that former officers Eleazar Alejandro, Alfred Flores, and Nathaniel Villalobos shot more than a dozen times that night. The question at the center of this trial is not whether they killed Perez, but whether the shooting violated protocol. The officer shot Perez inside her apartment the night that she was going through a mental health crisis. The testimony is expected to continue tomorrow morning, and we are live streaming on all of our platforms, including KSAT.com.
A man charged in connection with the case of the missing Olmos Park woman Suzanne Clark Simpson will have his ankle monitor removed. But James Cotter, the longtime business partner of Brad Simpson, will have to follow some rules in order to keep that ankle monitor off. Cotter's facing charges of tampering with evidence with the intent to impair an investigation and also possession of prohibited weapons. After obtaining the state's approval, Judge Joel Perez granted the removal request, but also put forward, per those terms, he says that Cotter Cotter cannot obtain a passport or have any contact whatsoever with Brad Simpson. No decision has been made yet on what's going to happen in Cotter's case moving forward. But as for Brad Simpson, we know that his tentative trial date is set for February 13th.
Okay, inching closer to the weekend and perhaps to the first legitimate rain chances that we've had in I can't even remember how long.
It's been over 40 days. I want to say 45 days or so since we've had even 1/100th of an inch of rain at the airport. Yeah, it's good to have a shot, and actually looks like a pretty good chance of rain. The focus is Friday night, especially I think after 10 p.m. Friday night. Most of the day Friday should be A-OK. Just a 20% chance of a straight pop-up shower here or there. It's Friday night, up to 70% chance, so more widespread showers. And then that's going to linger into Saturday morning, and then we could have some redevelopment as we get into Saturday afternoon. There's our next system over California. We've got the latest high-res Futurecast, which I think does a pretty good job with the timing in just a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you. You know, this is a big win for housing development, but also at the same time, a worst case scenario for some people up in the Helotes area. This morning, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality approved the permit for a water treatment plant up in the Helotes Creek watershed.
So it is a necessary step toward the construction of the Guajolote Ranch development. Now, it would add 3,000 homes in northwest Bexar County, but experts and locals warn that the water treatment plant would dump treated sewage into the city's drinking water. Those against the development say their fight is not over.
We're going to pursue it legally. We're going to pursue the TCEQ through the legislature for rule changes and sunsetting. We're after conserving the land, and that's what we're going to do.
Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai released a statement today saying that he does not agree with TCEQ's decision and says he will continue to work with residents to fight this.
Switching gears now, there's a lot going on in the downtown area this weekend. We have Muertos Fest, and also Paul McCartney is going to be playing over at the Alamo Dome.
Yep, and could be a little rain as well, so city leaders want to make sure that everyone can get around safely and quickly. So the heaviest traffic, as you might imagine, is expected Saturday night near the Alamo Dome and along I-37. There are other options besides driving yourself. There's Via's free park and ride service, and of course you could use a rideshare company. We have several resources to help you finalize your weekend plans, maybe even save some money. Just go to KSAT.com.
Coming up, stay right where you are. The Spurs, they are tearing up the hardwood up in Dallas for the start of the NBA season. How the team is shaping up against the Mavericks.
And the Archdiocese of San Antonio is sounding the alarm about online donations. What they want you to know so your money makes it to the right place.
Also this, before we go to break, a reminder about early voting. You see those dates that are highlighted on your screen? Those are the number of days that you have left to participate in early voting. People registered to vote in Bexar County have a lot of decisions to make, from a Spurs arena funding to state constitutional amendments. And we're going to show you, we can show you a full sample ballot and break down propositions A and B. Just visit ksat.com/vote.
The Archdiocese of San Antonio has put out a warning about donating to groups under their umbrella through GoFundMe. Tonight, the Archdiocese released a statement saying that many pages purporting to benefit its local parishes, schools, and ministries have been set up without the approval of the Archdiocese. Instead, it's telling people that if they would like to donate to a parish or organization affiliated with the Archdiocese, that they should do it through the, quote, official and secure online platforms found on the Archdiocesan website and at archsa.org. We've emailed GoFundMe and the Archdiocese for clarification on this, and we are expecting to learn more tomorrow.
Now, there's going to be no break from politics even after Election Day. Sorry to tell you this, because November 8th, the Saturday after Election Day, is the day that people who want to run for office for next year's midterm elections can start filing. And one person who was thought to be running for Bexar County District Attorney, this guy right here, has decided not to, and he is District Court Judge Ron Rangel. He sat down with KSAT this morning and said that this is just not the right time for himself and his family. He was recently reelected to his 5th term as 379th District Court Judge and says that he wants to serve out his term, which goes through December 31st of 2028.
I think it's important for me to continue doing what I'm doing in this position. My term will end in 3+ years, and when that term ends, obviously then I'll have an opportunity. As long as it's the right time for my family, it would be an opportunity for me to explore another type of office.
Since I mentioned the Bexar County DA's office, back in June, current DA Joe Gonzalez announced that he would not be seeking re-election.
Well, a crucial call to help our neighbors in need. Meals on Wheels deliveries to 350 seniors in our community are at risk because of funding cuts. Community generosity has kept services running through the end of the year, but to ensure longevity of this important service, we are launching a KSAT community phone bank to help raise funds.
I mean, we've realized just how vulnerable this is and how many people depend on this. The goal here is to keep those meals coming to those who really need them. So join us tomorrow for a KSAT community phone bank. The phone bank starts during GMSA at 5 a.m. and then it runs until 7 p.m. Your calls can help Meals on Wheels keep food on the table for seniors, a really good cause. Together, we can work together to make sure that nobody goes hungry. And we have more details at ksatcommunity.com. Speaking of stepping up for the community, Bill Miller Barbecue donated $192,000 to Meals on Wheels. In a statement from CEO Jim Guy Egbert, the company is helping because, quote, both Bill Miller and Meals on Wheels have a common mission in feeding the San Antonio community, end quote.
Very good. Okay. We're going outside the live cam on this Wednesday night here. Forgive me if I was slightly distracted.
Ernie's still getting used to me.
Adam,
I know, again,
Adam's
small
up to
doses.
his shenanigans tonight, and it's after a while you just won't even notice.
Yeah, you get used to it. It was off cam, so of course I was doing something to try to make him laugh a little, so I came up and did a little.
Well, you did a mouth thing too.
I did.
Yeah. Nobody warned me about that when I was.
Wasn't part of the interview process?
That
right?
was not in the
interview.
interview
Yeah, they left
process,
that out
but
conveniently.
That's okay.
Yeah, Caskey's going to pull some shenanigans, and there's going to be confetti.
I thought maybe that was a rain dance you were doing.
It's both. It's everything.
Well, if it is, it's working.
Oh, it's looking
right?
good. I like it. Very promising now.
Okay.
Maybe that's one reason I'm in a good mood, because we have some good rain
there you go.
coming our way. It really looks like it. Good confidence in this. Friday night into early Saturday. 1 to 3 inches we think is very possible in several areas and locally higher amounts. But keep in mind, this is the typical rainfall scenario. Not everybody is going to get 1 to 3 inches of rain. As usual, the rainfall is going to vary significantly across south central Texas and the entire KSAT 12 viewing area. Some street flooding, I think, can be anticipated overnight Friday and when you wake up early on Saturday, and even some localized strong storms, some localized higher gusts, maybe 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's going to be the exception, though. And then obviously heavy rainfall and frequent lightning and thunder Friday night into early Saturday. So if your kids or your pets are really sensitive to thunder and lightning, anticipate that to be an issue after bedtime Friday night and all the way through sunrise on Saturday morning. There's our next system. Counterclockwise swirl, a potent and aggressive upper level system, the kind that we need right now. It's not going to be in the perfect sweet spot for rain for us, but it's going to be pretty good in a decent location, moving into North Texas, throwing some rain-making energy, mid and upper level moisture our way. We'll have instability in place. Problem is we may have a little too much instability, which can then lead to some of the localized strong to severe storms. Just something that's a possibility, not necessarily a probability with this. More than anything, I think anticipate periods of heavy rain. Now, most of the day Friday, just fine. More of the same, humid, partly cloudy, and 1 or 2 pop-up showers here or there, but insignificant quick splash and dash. Don't really think of Friday as being rainy at all. I think even for kickoff, high school football, we should be okay. In and around San Antonio, surrounding areas, it's, I think, between about 10 p.m. and midnight when we really need to plan for the showers and storms. They're going to start off to the west, basically Big Bend area, Del Rio, Rio Grande, and Hill Country first, then move eastward. Now, I know this Futurecast shows this line making it here around midnight in San Antonio. I do want to point out, experience tells me that often these systems accelerate their timeline a little bit. So I'm going to say be prepared for the storms to move into San Antonio downtown by 10 p.m. Not 12:30 a.m., but be prepared for them by 10 p.m. And then periods of heavy rain lasting all the way through sunrise on Saturday. And then Saturday afternoon, some redevelopment, but not as widespread. The showers and storms Saturday afternoon, not as numerous. But it looks like Saturday morning activities could be washed out. Notice the widespread rainfall totals. We'll see swaths of accumulations of about 1 to 3 inches. Tomorrow, humid, more of the same. Upper 60s in the morning, near 90 in the afternoon. Same for Friday. By Sunday, humidity drops, sunny, and 88. But we're still looking for that first real deal cold front.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Something that's very good right now.
Yes.
The Spurs and the Mavs. I mean, I keep checking my phone here and checking.
Look at that smile on her face.
Yes, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, well, the game's going on right now, so we can't show you all the highlights, but we can show you all the best first half highlights. Get ready for those. Victor Wembanyama already has north of 20 points. Great start for the Spurs. And UIW is looking to right the ship versus UTRGV this weekend. We'll also hear from Jeff Traylor as the Roadrunners enter a bye week.
It's like a dream come true. I think as being like from a little kid to now, you always dream of playing these games. Just like walking out here, seeing all the white shirts, just ready to go, have fun.
The Spurs' two prized rookies, Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant, touching the NBA hardwood for the first time tonight in Big Board Sports. All right, the Spurs opening their season up I-35 in Dallas tonight. First quarter, how about an early dunk of the year candidate? Victor Wembanyama with the tomahawk dunk. Oh my goodness. This was a back and forth game. Second quarter now. Stephon Castle picks Cooper Flagg's pocket. Castle on the fast break. Tough finish at the rim, plus the foul later. Spurs in transition. Castle lobs it to Wemby. How about a reverse two-handed jam? Before the half, Wemby on an island with Anthony Davis. Wemby is unafraid. Spurs led 60-51 at the half. And here's a live scoring update. San Antonio up 71-60 on Dallas. And due to broadcast rights, we are limited on what we can show you. So that was the best. That was the best we could do. There was a point Wemby and Castle, either through assist or scoring, accounted for 32 of the Spurs' 38 points, and Dylan Harper had 8 first half points for San Antonio. All right, moving on to college football. A big Southland Conference matchup will take center stage this Saturday between two of South Texas's prized FCS programs, UIW and first-year team UTRGV, who is 5-2 overall. Now, the Cardinals are still searching for their first conference win of the season as they've struggled to find consistency. Here's Coach Killo after the Words' 52-42 heartbreaking Week 7 loss to East Texas A&M.
Extremely disappointed. I mean, it was a rough loss. It was a tough one to swallow. But I told myself after Monday, after we got done game planning, that I had to let it go because it was definitely a tough one to swallow. We can be whatever football team we want to be right now. We can be, the team that goes out there and loses a heartbreaker like that. We can be the team that goes out and plays a top 15 team in the country in Abilene Christian and dominates a football game. We can be whatever team that we decide to be. It's kind of an us versus us thing right now, and that's what we're battling.
The Cardinals did have a lot of holes to fill this season after 8 players left the program for FBS schools. 7 of those went to Power 4 schools. Tomorrow on KSAT Sports Now, streaming at 7, we'll hear more from Killo and Vaqueros head coach Travis Bush.
Extremely disappointed, especially how we performed. And so that's never fun when you come back to a locker room like that.
UTSA is coming off of a disappointing loss of its own, 55-17 in North Texas. Luckily for the Roadrunners, they have a bye week to dissect the loss and come back a better team for the night before Halloween in the Alamo Dome against Tulane. UTSA is 3-4 overall and 1-2 in AAC play. Robert Henry Jr., running back, he's currently 2nd in the FBS in rushing yards. All right, after the break, we're showing you more of Blair Ramirez's sit down with De'Aaron Fox.